Good evening, students. Today's question from April 7, 2025 question, and this question is belongs to thermodynamics. So now coming to the question. Total enthalpy change for freezing of 1 mole of water at 10 degrees Celsius to ice at minus 10 degrees Celsius is, and delta H fusion value they given, and Cp of water in liquid state they given, and Cp of water in solid state also they given, Z joule per mole Kelvin they given. So this is the question. Now coming to the code. Enthalpy change they are asking for freezing. Freezing means what is that? Liquid is converted to solid state, that is the freezing. So how much water we are taken? H2O, 1 mole of water taken, water at initially it is at 10 degrees Celsius. After that, this water we are converting into, means freezing into solid state. H2O is at solid state. This is how much degrees? Minus 10 degrees Celsius. Now how much enthalpy change is there? They are asking. So this is the question. Now they given the sum of the values also they given. Now H2O is at which temperature? 10 degrees Celsius. Now first H2O have to convert it into the 0 degrees Celsius. So H2O first it is converting into 0 degrees Celsius, and after that this H2O is converted into solid state at 0 degrees Celsius. This is the delta H fusion. Delta H fusion. So delta H fusion means the amount of energy is released to convert the liquid to solid state at 0 degrees Celsius. That is the delta H fusion. Next, this solid state means ice is at which degrees? 0 degrees Celsius, but they are asking at minus 10 degrees Celsius. So this is 0 degrees to minus 10 degrees Celsius it is converting. So now they are asking the delta H value. In this, totally several steps are involved. So according to Hess law, the enthalpy change in the one step, this is the single step, that is the delta H is equal to enthalpy change in the single step is equal to enthalpy change in the sum of the several steps also. Here enthalpy change, for example, delta H1, and this is the delta H2. Then total energy is equal to, this is single step, these are the several steps. First H2O liquid at 10 degrees converted into 0 degrees, again liquid is converting into solid, again this 0 degrees Celsius this solid is converting into minus 10 degree solid. So now delta H equal to, according to Hess law, what we can write? Delta H1 plus delta H fusion plus delta H2. So this is the according to Hess law. Now delta H equal to, actually here delta H1 how to calculate? We know already equation, that is the Cp. Cp means heat capacity at constant pressure, that is formula, that is the Q by N delta T. Q by N delta T, this is the formula. Now this is heat capacity at constant pressure, so this is also Qp. Now Qp, heat at constant pressure, that is known as delta H by N delta T. So this is the Cp formula. Then delta H equal to Cp into N delta T. Cp into N delta T. This is the formula when temperature is changed. So delta H1, calculate the delta H1. Delta H1 equal to, what is the formula? Cp. Actually this is water is in liquid state. Cp of liquid state, that is Y joule per mole. So Cp means that is the Y, and N means number of moles of water, that is the 1 only, and delta T means T2 minus T1. T2 minus T1 means this is initially 10 degrees Celsius, it is converting into 0 degrees Celsius. So this is the T2, this is the T1. So T2 minus T1, 0 minus 10. 0 minus 10 means that is the minus 10. And units are, these are the joule per mole Kelvin into moles into, this is the temperature Kelvin. So the totally mole Kelvin will be cancelled, then remaining joules. So delta H1, that is the minus 10 y joules, minus 10 y joules this is. Next, calculate the delta H2. Delta H2 means what is that? Solid, water is at solid at 0 degree Celsius. It is converting into minus 10 degrees Celsius. So now delta H also same formula only. Cp of this is solid state. Cp of solid state they given Z. So Z into moles, that is 1 only, and delta T, T2 minus T1. This is initial temperature 0 degrees and this is the final temperature minus 10 degrees. So T2 minus T1. So minus 10 minus 0, then minus 10 only will come. So totally same units only. Then this is the minus 10 Z joules will come. So this is next. Delta H fusion, already they given x kilojoule per mole, but this is the delta H fusion is a exothermic, so we have to keep the this is the minus x. Why? Because delta H fusion, when liquid is converting into the solid state, energy is released, so it is a exothermic reaction. So delta H fusion they given x kilojoule, but it is a exothermic reaction, so we have to put the sign minus x kilojoule per mole. So delta H fusion, that is the minus x kilojoule, delta H fusion equal to minus x kilojoule, but remaining all values in the joules, so converting into this kilojoule into joule. So 1 kilojoule equal to 10 cube joules. So this is the delta H fusion value. Now substitute all the values in the in this equation according to Hess law. Delta H equal to delta H1 how much? That is the minus 10y. Delta H fusion, that is the minus delta H fusion minus x into 10 cube joules, x into 10 cube joules, plus delta H2, that is the minus 10z, minus 10z this is. So now take the common, totally minus 10 take the common. Here y minus, already we took the common, then this is the plus. So this is the 10 cube means 1000. So 10 we are taking the common, then here 100 into x minus 10 if you are taking the common, then here z only. So this is the enthalpy change, total enthalpy change when freezing of 1 mole of water at 10 degrees Celsius to minus 10 degrees Celsius ice, means liquid is converting into ice, but initially the temperature is 10 degrees Celsius. After that this one is converting into the minus 10 degrees Celsius. So initial in between that these several steps are taking place. So according to Hess law, total enthalpy change delta H equal to, here first 10 degrees Celsius water is converting into 0 degrees Celsius. After that this liquid is converting into solid state. Again this solid state at 0 degrees it is converting into minus 10 degrees. So totally several steps are involved. So according to Hess law, single step enthalpy change equal to sum of the enthalpy change in the several steps. So delta H equal to delta H1 plus delta H fusion plus delta H2. So now delta H1 how to calculate means this is the formula, delta H equal to Cp into N delta T. So Cp values for the water in liquid state y joules they given, Cp value for water in solid state z joules they given. So that values if you substitute, we will get the delta H1 we will get, and this is the delta H2 also we can get, and delta H fusion they given x kilojoule per by, but it is a exothermic reaction, but they given only x kilojoule. So exothermic means we have to keep the negative sign. So delta H fusion equal to minus x kilojoule. So all the values if you substituted in this, then we are getting this equation. Thank you.